So Sakura has purple hair. Moving on. Fujine. If we play with Fujine, then we're playing with Fujine, which would mean we're playing with Fujine, which would probably be. I don't even. What do you. If you're going to play with. First of all, why are we playing with Fujine? Why is that an option in the first place? Because I feel like Fujine would kill us if we were playing some type of game. Fujine would be the person that's good at every type of board game there is, right? And she would probably be the one, I wouldn't say to take it too seriously, but would definitely be way into it, you know? But I could rest. I don't know what happens if he just rests. So I'm going to pick rest. Yeah. I'll take a brief break in preparation for the training tonight. The bath's ready and I can ask Fujine to take Sakura home. Now that I've decided that, let's do things efficiently. First, I'll wake up Fujine who's asleep in the living room, then I'll thank Sakura for dinner, see them both off, and take a bath. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. And so, the day begins. Just before midnight, Emiya Shiro must carry out his daily routine of using the magic. I stretch out and adjust my breathing. I try to empty my mind. I ignore everything around me and pay attention only to what is inside of me. Trace on! As if to hypnotize myself, I murmur the spell I'm long accustomed to. No, I really am hypnotizing myself. As I have no magic crest and no knowledge of magic, a spell is only a change to myself. Normally, there are no lines in a human body to allow the passage of magical energy. To artificially change my body to create such a line, I need enough concentration to unify my whole body and every nerve within it. My magic is a battle with yourself. For instance, at this very moment, I am inserting a burning steel rod into my backbone. Don't do that. Don't. Why? This metal rod is the only magical circuit I can prepare for myself. When I insert it this deep into my body and connect it to the other nerves, I can finally become a magus. This is not a metaphor. In reality, something like a burning tongue, which cannot be seen or felt, is being inserted into my backbone. I am a sorcerer. Emiya Kuritsugu, the man who said so, who was really a magus. A living magus who performed many marvels and had touched the very structure of the world. As a young child, I admired him and asked him to teach me magic. But you cannot become a magus just through effort. It requires born talent and appropriate knowledge. And of course, I have no talent, and Kuritsugu taught me nothing of magic. He said something about me having no need of such knowledge. I still don't know what he meant by that, but still, it didn't matter to me back then. I thought that if I could use magic, I could be like him. But I was not born with talent. No strength of magic circuit, no accumulated works of magic handed down for generations. The work of magic Kuritsugu possessed, the magic crest passed down from the Emiya family, can only be passed onto a blood relation. A magic crest forces a rejection on those with no blood relation. So, as an adopted son, I could not receive the Emiya family's magical crest. Well, anyways, I don't even know what a magic crest is. It doesn't matter if I have one or not. So now, all it comes down to is training what I can do. If I want to be a magus, I have to learn magic to fit to my nature. To be blunt, magic is a way to release one's magical energy. You could say that magical energy is my life force. It is divided into two forms: a large source, mana, floating around the world, and a small source, odd, created inside oneself. It goes without saying that the large source is superior to the small one. The power of mana is on a completely different level from the odd. Whatever the form of magic, a spell using the large source far exceeds one using only one's own power. That is why superior magi excel at drawing magical energy from the world. It's like a filter. A magus turns his body into a filter, sucks up the mana from the world around him, and changes it into something he can use. The filter is what we call a magic circuit. This is the talent one is born with, and the number of magic circuits within you is determined the moment you are born. Normally, human beings do not have many magical circuits. To begin with, there are always very few. That is why Magi pile them up generation after generation, making their children more suitable to use magic. I hear some families go too far and increase the number of magic circuits by selective breeding. Well, since I was raised in a normal family, I don't have many magic circuits. So that leaves only one method open to me. According to Kuritsugi, every person has at least one form of magic they are fit for. He said something about drawing out magical energy appropriate to their origin, but I didn't really understand. All I know for sure is that even I have some magic I can use, and if I train that magic, I may be able to become like Kuritsugu. This is why I learned only that magic. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kuritsugu finally accepted me as his student. Listen, Shiro, to learn magic... It's terrible. Listen, Shiro, to learn magic is to stray away from common sense. You die when you die, and you kill when you must. Our essence is not in life, but in death. Magic is only a way to destroy yourself. I guess I had no fear as a child. Kuritsugu smiled bitterly, putting his hand on the nodding Emiya Shiro. What I will teach you will bring you conflicts. That is why you must not use it in front of people, and you must not cease your practice even though it is difficult to learn. Well, I don't really care if you break that one. The most important thing is that magic is something you use not for yourself, but for others. If you do that, you may become a magic user, but you will not become a magus. I guess Kuritsugu didn't want me to become a magus. I don't care about that. I don't admire a magus, I admire Kuritsugu. If I can become like him and be there for someone like on that red day, that will be... What? I'm thinking needlessly. I feel the iron rod in my backbone slide into place. God, that's such... Ugh! What? Ugh. Gah. If I lose control of my breathing now, it would be a fatal mistake. The artificial magic circuit will eat away my body and destroy it. If that happens, I'll die. I would be only an amateur failing such an elementary step. I grind my teeth and resume the connection. After a battle like walking on needles, the iron rod finally arrives deep within me and fuses with my body. This process took me about an hour. After that much time, I'm finally able to make one artificial circuit. One circuit that produces magical energy. Basic structure! Analyze! After that, it becomes a process of naturally flowing magical energy. Emiya Shiro is no magus. He is only a magic user who can create magical energy within his body and channel it into objects. So there's only one magic possible, which is... composition. Analyze. Strengthening objects. It is a magic of strengthening that reinforces the object's ability by understanding the object structure and channeling energy into it. Basic structure! Alter! Before me is a metal pipe. I will channel energy into it, perform the simplest magic, and reinforce its durability. Basically, channeling your energy into something other than yourself is like pouring poison into that object. It is just as the blood of Emiya Shiro is not the blood of the metal pipe. Pumping different blood only accelerates its breakdown. It certainly wouldn't strengthen it. To prevent that and turn the poison into a tonic, one must completely understand the structure of the target and channel the magical energy into small open bleh. Composition! Reinforce! Must be easy for a skilled magus, but for me, who cannot even create sufficient magical energy, it's as hard as hitting a target hundreds of meters away. The usual target in archery is 28 meters away. How much harder is it at many times that distance? Goes without saying. The heat in my body quickly escapes. The burning pillar in my backbone disappears, and the lungs stretched to the limit demand air? What? I arc my back to hold off the daze almost passing me out. Ah, damn it. I failed again. There's no change in the metal pipe. It seems that the magical energy I poured into it has evaporated into the air. It's hard to reprove something that already has form. The thing I'm attempting is like adding something to an already complete work of art. Adding to a complete object risks making it less perfect. Adding unnecessary things will actually decrease the value. That is why the magic of strengthening is simple, yet difficult, and only a few Magi use it willingly. It's not like I use it willingly either, but it can't be helped as this is the only thing I'm good at. It would be much easier if I could just form something out of clay and use it instead, but a substitute in appearance doesn't have the internal structure to match. The junk around here is a good example. When I fail with strengthening magic, I make some substitute objects to practice and to calm down, but they all end up with nothing inside. I can visualize something structured easily, so I can make the outside look like the original, but it's empty inside, and of course, it doesn't do anything. I wipe the sweat off my brow. Now that I think about it, I realize my whole body is sweating like I've been drenched with a bucket of water. But I'm lucky it just ended like this. That was really bad. If I'd taken a second longer to recover myself, I would probably have destroyed most of my body. If I improved every time I came closer to death, there may be some hope. It's not even that easy. But it is true that you won't improve your magic if you're scared of death. As long as you study magic, death is always right beside you. Even a simple magic repeated every day can go off with a simple mistake, taking the caster's life. The first step of a magus is to accept death. Kiritsugu said so, sadly. Maybe he meant that he didn't want me to take such a step. Saving someone means not saving someone else. A superhero is really selfish, huh? Kiritsugu said that to me when I told him I wanted to be just like him. I still don't know what he meant, but Imiyashiro has to become a superhero who goes around saving people, just like Imiya Kiritsugu. But I still can't even do basic things like this. Why do I get distracted by needless things at the most important times? I'm so stupid. It's not enough to understand the structure of an object with mere vision. A skilled magus only detects what's important and channels magical energy without waste. My dream is to become a superhero. I remember what Fujine said during dinner. I don't think it's embarrassing nor impossible. It's already determined. Imiyashiro will succeed Imiya Kiritsugu. That's why, even though I'm inexperienced, I've done everything I can. I don't know what kind of a person a superhero should be, so I can only approach it by helping others within the limits of my abilities. I have aimed straight for that goal for the past 5 years, but when things just go wrong like this, I do have doubts. Jeez, I don't get it, Father. How can I become a superhero? I look up the sky through the window. It's not like I can just randomly do good deeds. I think being a superhero is different from just helping others. I know that, but the question is, how can I become one? The difference between the two is the thing I've failed to understand for the past 5 years. Drink of water, my friends! Fate Stay Night 2. One day 2. What? One day the second? What is it? I don't... Whatever. My awakening is dark. Perhaps I just don't dream much, but unless something really special happens, I always seem to have the same dream. What I imagine are swords. I don't know why it is, but this is the only thing that comes into my mind. There's no meaning or reasoning to it. It may just be one of the aspects making up Imiyashiro. There are no dreams to dream. The only things I recall from sleep are things I was taught a long time ago. For example, about Magi. Even if I am an amateur, if I'm a Magus, it's only natural for me to understand the kind of world I live in. Frankly speaking, a Magus is an exception who deviates from modern society, but even exceptions must band together to survive. Father told me that the group of Magi is called the Magic Association. He also said that I shouldn't associate with them. The Magic Association hides magic and organizes Magi. They basically keep watch to see that Magi do not affect society with magic, but the strange part is that they do not prohibit misuse of magic. According to Kiritsugu, the Magic Association is only interested in the concealment of magic. Even if a Magus carries out his research at the expense of the lives of many ordinary people, the Magic Association will not punish him. Their priority is that magic should not become public, so they do not ban magic. So, they're crazy people who think you can do anything as long as you don't get caught. Anyway, the surveillance of the Magic Association is thorough. Most magical research would cost the lives of ordinary people, and as a result, the existence of magic would become public. So, the association does not allow research that would harm society. So Magi stay at home and research quietly, while the normal world carries on unmolested. That's a good way to put it. Hence, Magi only try to hide themselves to escape the association. So, perhaps I just don't know it and a Magus lives in this town. I hear Fuyuki City is a spiritually excellent area. Such an area always has a distinguished Magus with a history. They are called the Second Owner, an elite, and the association entrusts the area to them. Magi who would live in the area must visit them and obtain their permission to construct a workshop. Looking at it like that, we're thieves living here without the permission of the landlord. Father was an outlaw who cut his ties with the association, moved here without the consent of the administrator of Fuyuki. The owner doesn't know that Emiya Kiritsugu was a Magus, and Kiritsugu didn't know who the owner was. With reasoning like that, I think our position is ambiguous. Father, the real Magus, has passed away, and I, his son and pupil, don't know the Magic Association, and have not the skill to be a Magus. From the association's point of view, they will want to catch an amateur like me doing things, but I've seen no movement yet. No, I've heard that Japan is relatively hidden from the eyes of the association, so I think I've just not been found out. But that doesn't mean I can't let my guard down. People say that the eyes of the association are everywhere. On top of that, if you commit a crime with magic, the heretic hunters of the church will come after you. That just means that whatever you use for magic, lack of care will create enemies. I, and Miyashiro, just have to study independently, taking that into account. That sounds crazy, like they just don't care. I wake up to see the sun shining in through the window. The sun may have just risen as it's still a bit dark outside. I'm really not good in the mornings. I get up trying to not be defeated by the morning chill and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. One of my strengths is waking up at this time, no matter how late I go to sleep. I do sometimes make mistakes and wake up late, like yesterday, but I usually wake up early. Alright, breakfast! Since I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, I have to return the favor this morning. I should finish preparing before Sakura arrives.